let's bring in Matthew Whitaker now. You know him, former Attorney General under President Trump. So the president is over there, and how would you characterize how it's been going so far?
This is what the president does the best, is he goes to world leaders and he's changing the dynamic of really post-World War II relationships between countries, especially in Europe. And so many of these countries have taken advantage of the United States by not paying their 2% of their defense spending. They have been able to support socialized medicine and other experiments within their own countries. And the United States has borne that burden by supporting the defense of the European Union. And I think the president understands uniquely as to why that's no longer the case and why everybody has to pitch in to do this. And again, it's the threats are different. I mean, Russia still sits there as a big challenge, but there are many other challenges.
Now, there are 29 North American or European countries involved in NATO, and they have formed this alliance. How dangerous would it be if we said, fine, we're only going to pay what everyone else is paying?
Well,
didn't pay as much.
I mean, we are the world's superpower and only superpower. Obviously, we're being challenged by countries like China and Russia that would like to compete with us at that level. And so I think we're always going to have to spend more than our fair share to make sure that democracy and freedom is defended worldwide. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that the people that we've allied with should get to, sort of ride on our coattails. And that's what the president, I think, saw when he ran in 2016. He understood it before then, and I think he's implementing that vision.
Okay, who knew that you were going to talk about NATO when you came in? But that was the breaking news. Coming up in 90 minutes, Jerry Nadler is going to gavel in the Judiciary Committee to start the next phase of the impeachment inquiry. Does it look like a fair fight to you?
Well, I've been in front of this committee. If you remember, I was really their first high-profile witness.
They didn't like you.
Yeah, back in February of this year, and no, they didn't. But at the same time, what I want the American people to understand is impeachment is not a theoretical or academic exercise. So putting law professors in front of the Judiciary Committee talking about this, and they're going to color it. They're not going to give an honest assessment of what this really means historically or what the precedent has been, because this committee and this Congress, led by Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, Jerry Nadler, have changed the rules of what impeachment is. Bill Clinton had so much more due process rights than they're giving President Trump, and the whole thing looks rigged and unfair to me.
The president said, I had an opportunity to put his lawyers out there, Jay Sekulow or others, and he said no. Is that a mistake?
I don't think so, because they didn't even know who these witnesses were 2 days ago. And we still don't know what evidence they're going to present. There's this report that we've all read, but we don't know what the evidence is going to report. We don't know witnesses are going to call. I've never gone to a trial or any kind of legal proceeding where I didn't know who I was going to cross-examine. That seems to me to be the strangest.
So what can we expect from these witnesses? Is it just their arguments of why they do or do not think that this is an impeachable offense? I
think we're going to hear a lot about Andrew Johnson, Richard Nixon, Bill Clinton, but also sort of what the founding fathers thought when they created this high crimes and misdemeanors. And they're going to try to convince us with their impressive CVs. They're going to try to convince us that what this high crimes and misdemeanor standard is somehow lower than it actually was intended by the founding fathers.
But, Matt, don't they have some bias? Because we've already heard that a number of the people who are appearing on behalf of the Democrats have already come out and said, yep, Trump should be impeached.
Well, of course they have bias. I mean, this whole partisan exercise that we're going through. Everyone in this has biases. The Democrats want to impeach. They have since the president was elected. The Republicans have been fighting, but in the minority with very few rights and very little power. And these professors, again, they're going to have a stage for about an hour to convince us what the founding fathers believed. But I would encourage folks to read the recent letter from White House counsel Pat Cipollone. That lays out really the precedent. Yeah, that lays out the precedent. And I'd also encourage them to read the Federalist Papers, because Alexander Hamilton predicted this and said that once this becomes a partisan exercise, you should expect that this will occupy the Congress.
Would you also recommend going to see the play?
You know, I am a big fan of the play.
I did
you know, I really, whenever I'm in New York, I go to Broadway.
Hamilton.
Yeah, but Hamilton is one of my favorites.
I thought it was great too. But he's right, because what's going to happen next? Is this going to be a routine for both sides?
I fully expect it will be.
forward?
Once the House is held in different hands than the president, we should expect impeachment to be
a lot of these guys aren't used to the cross-examination. They're going to get hit from both sides, so let's see if they came to play. Thanks for coming to play.
Thank you.
All right, did I hurt you just now?
Ow.
I didn't think so. Okay. All right.